Black Swan by Smino is not just a collection of songs, it's a kaleidoscopic journey through identity, resilience, and unfiltered creativity. And honestly, for me, it's one of the greatest albums I've ever heard in my life. It's not just a great R&B record, it's not just a great hip-hop record, it's like straight up one of the greatest albums, full stop. And today, we're gonna get into why. From the very first notes of Wild Irish Roses, you know that you're somewhat different when listening to this album. The bass line, Smino's voice doing this thing where it kind of like floats and dips at the same time. It's almost like liquid in how it moves. It's effortless in a way that takes serious craft to pull off, I think. And what strikes me immediately is that this album has absolutely like zero interest conforming to anything. It just like has a very, very unique sound, and every time I go back to Black Swan, I hear something new, you know, like another layer and another detail tucked away in production, in the lyrics, and that kind of marks a truly great record. It rewards like your attention, and the more you give it, the more it gives back. And yeah, I think that from the beginning, that's something that really pulls me in. So let's talk about what the album actually sounds like, you know, because that's not that's not as actually a simple an answer as you think. So Black Swan, it's hip hop, it's R&B, it's soul, it's jazz influenced. It's got distinctive Midwest DNA running through the whole thing, and somehow none of these things feel like in tension with each other. They don't feel like they're fighting over each other. It feels like they're operating at the same time in a layered way that makes it feel very, very natural. A huge part of this production is Monty Booker, who handles most of the beats here. It's kind of like building worlds rather than just pure beat making. There's a texture to this album that feels very organic. Nothing is over polished. Nothing feels like it's been sanded down to fit a commercial template. It's intricate, but it also kind of lets it breathe. It gives Smino a voice, the space to actually move the record. And obviously Smino's voice does a lot. He's rapping, he's singing, he's doing melodic blending over the two that a lot of artists try, but very few can actually pull off very convincingly, especially to the level that you see in this project. And his lyricism is dense with very good wordplay, but it never feels like he's trying to impress you in a way. It feels like a conversation, like he's sitting across from you just talking. So that combination of like dense craft and casual delivery, I feel is very genuinely rare and well executed here. Now, one of the things I love most about Black Swan is it makes space for joy. Genuine, unself-conscious joy. Tracks like Anita and Netflix and Duce are playful, they're fun, they're about black love and intimacy and those small everyday moments that don't get celebrated enough in music. The kind of moments that are actually the texture of real life, you know, staying in, watching something, being easy with someone that you care about. And what Smino does well, actually so well, very well, is treat these moments with the same intention as anything else on the record. There's no throwaway. Even when it's light, it means something. The warmth is political in its own way, centering black joy, black intimacy, and black everyday life as worthy subjects of serious art is a statement. Whether or not it announces itself as one, I feel that Black Swan does wave a flag about it, and it's done in a very, very beautiful way. But the album isn't only about joy, and I think that's what gives it real weight. Black Swan is an album of duality. It holds highs and lows in the same hand. On tracks like Maraca and Glass Floors, Smino gets into the harder material, you know, self-doubt, ambition, the pressure of carrying your dreams while life keeps doing what life does. And these tracks, they hit differently because they're very honest. and vulnerable. There's no performance of struggle here. It just feels true. It feels honest, and I think that's what makes this album stick. When you hear those moments, it's like hearing a version of a conversation you've had with yourself over the years, and trying to reconcile where you are with what you want to be and where you want to be, trying to trust the process when the process isn't, being kind to you. That kind of honesty in music is very rare, and I feel that this is the sort of thing that separates records that you casually listen to and that you like, and records that stick with you and feel like they're needed. The title track is the center of everything. If you want to understand what this album is about in one song, start here. Over a hypnotic, groove-driven beat, Smino is declaring himself, his name, his identity, and more importantly, his refusal to be anything other than exactly what he is. Lines like, I ain't no Russian, I'm a black swan, do a lot in a small space. They're playful on the surface, but underneath, there's a real assertion happening. This is who I am, this is where I'm from, don't confuse me with anything else. It's an anthem for anyone who's felt overlooked, underestimated, or made to feel like a particular version of themselves isn't quite right for a room they're trying to enter. The whole track operates in that space between confidence and defiance, serious and loose at the same time, political and personal in the same breath. And that balance in the whole album is very incredible. It's got real stakes, I feel, and it's also just a guy being himself fully and really embracing himself without an apology. So what does Black Swan actually mean? What is it for? For me, it's a blueprint, a demonstration of what it looks like to be fully yourself in your art. No hedging, no diluting, no compromising your identity to make it easier for people to access. Smino made exactly the record he wanted to make, in his voice, from his world, on his terms. And the result is something that doesn't just speak to people from that world, but also to everyone. And that's the paradox of truly personal art. The more specific it is, the more universal it becomes. The more rooted it is in a particular experience, the more it can connect with people whose experience looks completely different. Black Swan is a celebration of blackness. Yes, that's true. It's also a love letter to the Midwest, to St. Louis, to a particular way of moving through the world. But it's also just a record about being a human being. It's about wanting things, it's about doubting yourself and loving people and trying to figure out who you are. And that is truly for everyone. My verdict on this album is that, predictably, if you manage to watch the whole video, it's a masterpiece, and I don't like throwing that word around lightly, but I feel that Black Swan does earn it. It's the kind of record that kind of changes slightly depending on when you come to it and whatever you're going through when you listen to it, but I feel that it still delivers every time. If you haven't sat with this album properly front to back with no distractions, I highly recommend that you do that soon. I think you'll thank yourself and hopefully me. So drop in the comment what's an album or a record that's made you feel seen. I would like to know also. And if you've already listened to Black Swan and if you're a fan of it, what's your favorite track on the album for you. So this is the end of the video, so subscribe if you're new. There's more videos to come, doing a Daniel Caesar album review next, and I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.